Welcome to the apex of sports ownership, the Apex Athletic Collective.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Instigate Success, Episode 3, Founders Edition, if you will. Got the other three founders on here this week. So we got myself, it's basically you all have seen on every episode of Instigate Success. And then we got Ronan and Dylan. Let's start with some introductions. Who the hell are you other two guys, and where did you come from?
You want to go first?
Wonderful.
I don't care. Sure. So
Guys, this is live here. Come on now.
Yeah. No dead air. I am Ronan. My background essentially is in cybersecurity. So that's kind of where I came in. I've been focused on just seeing what I can from a compliance perspective, bring organization to any documentation and any security components related to our IT efforts.
Nice. What about the other guy? What's your name, Dylan? What are you here for?
Yeah, I'm Dylan or Sloth, either or. I'm here to help out where's needed, pretty much. I'm more excited at the opportunity of what this is and what this can be, and kind of just excited for the future and to grow it. Haven't been able to help out much lately just because of wedding is in a week, so I've been swamped with all that. But once that's all said and done, we'll be steamrolling through this.
Yeah, it's great. So, yeah, just kind of go over the structure of the company for folks in case folks missed the first episode where we really went over that. If you did miss it, by the way, go check out the first episode after this. The first episode really is where we talk through Spacely and I talk about the idea behind the AAC and where it came from, and kind of our ideals and setting up this company. Second episode talks about how we went about founding the Instigators, specifically how we got their name, how we identified the league, all that good stuff. This is episode 3 where we're just going to talk a bunch of shit as founders about the AAC. We're going to talk about the Instigators. We're going to talk about whatever else comes to mind. I'm sure Sloth wants to jump in a lot on esports. That's been a hot topic in our Discord. But to go over the structure a little bit, so just a reminder for folks. So the four of us, right, we're the four founders. We're going to be opening up soon. People have been asking me when. We're hoping June. Membership interest spots for folks. So those folks will kind of join us, as right now we're the four owners of the company. Eventually we'll have more owners of the company through that process this summer. So those folks are kind of the top dogs. We have our governing board, which consists of all those members, the founders. Breaking news, I guess, as it's going to include, first 3 fans, right, who are in our $10 subscription tier or higher, that'll be voted on in October or November, and maybe sooner. We should talk about that later. And then also one player from the team will be on the governing board as well once we start signing players. So that's the governing board. They make all the decisions like a board of directors. It's basically the same thing. So think of a board of directors. All 4 of these guys on here, 3 plus me, are officers of the AAC as well. So I'm the chairman, Spacely is the president, Ronan's secretary, and Dylan's treasurer of the organization. All positions legally that we have to have, and so we do, and it's the founders, because that's, these are the guys that are really putting in the work on the organization. What's crazy, though, is if you're on the governing board later down the road, you're eligible for those officer positions should they come open. So something to keep a lookout on. And then the last part of our structure, right, is really the fan voters, the folks that subscribe at $10 a month or higher. Right now we have 5 of those, which is great. Well, really 4, because Spacely's 1, but he already gets a vote. Those folks will get to vote at those fan meetings. There's going to be one in November and one around April. Each year on all kinds of stuff. We'll also have votes for them throughout the year, such as, I don't know what jerseys look like, that kind of stuff. Who knows what it'll be about. That's one for sure, though. So that's kind of the structure of the company for folks. Again, we'll talk more about members and stuff as that comes. But, let's actually, I prepared some questions for our other two founders so folks can get to know you all a little bit better. So this is an impromptu interview. Rob,
Great.
what interests you so much about the AAC that you decided to become an owner?
So as the founders know already, I'm not a sports guy.
Yeah.
I am very far from a sports guy. But I'm more interested in operational governance and funding, I guess, a startup like this where we can get the fans, get the community engaged, and bring support and into I guess, a sports affiliation where fans can ultimately control that component.
Yeah. I wasn't cutting you off. I was just agreeing with you. I think that's great.
Oh.
I also like that. What about you, Dylan? What interests you about it? You touched on it a little bit in your intro, but
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of two parts. The first part of it is just something new, something to learn and experience that is, I mean, Ronan talked about it a little bit, but just something unique, something different, and a new challenge to face and to try out. But the other thing is I'm also pretty big in sports. You touched on it earlier, very big into esports, especially Counter-Strike and Rocket League.
yeah.
And the idea of being able to expand into those markets is huge for me. Like that's, I'm never going to be able to be a player or a coach because I suck at those games.
Yeah.
But to be able
true.
to help run and facilitate that, it's very true. Would be really cool.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a unique twist on sports. Like it's fun to watch. It's fun to play those kind of management video games. You and I both play the F1 Manager from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different experience that I'm just looking forward to seeing how it goes and expanding on it and delving into it.
If we did go down the road at one point and get an esports team, what's the game? Number one for you. Shoot it out.
Number one for me would be CS2.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's going to be new. It's a classic. It's probably the best that I know at. So it's a lot easier to figure out players, coaches, and all that. I know more of the scene.
Yeah.
Or Rocket League, because that's pretty not easy to get into, but easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot less steps to getting to pro there. But
I'm a big Rocket League guy. I played thousands of hours of that game.
I heard that we had a huge competition here in Indiana for Rocket League, especially at the high school and above level.
Yeah, I saw that article. You sent that article to me. Yeah, so apparently we found out Indiana. Dylan, Ronan, and I, we all live in Indiana. Indiana has a huge esports high school program right now. One of the top in the nation for Rocket League. Shocked me. So basically, what about you? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say before I left Wisconsin, we were trying to establish that.
Wisconsin sucks.
That was fun.
Everyone from Wisconsin sucks.
I'm not from there. I just taught there. There's a difference.
Even worse. You made sucky people.
We all do.
Yeah, that's true. Spacely, what do you think? Esports. It's a hot button topic. I jumped right into the meat of it.
I've been out of gaming, man, for probably about heavily, probably about 5-10 years now.
Yeah.
But out of it in the sense of me playing, but I've actually, I've still been the content consumer, I guess, in the sense I'll go through, watch YouTube. Mainly, I'm more of a sports guy myself, so I'll go and watch the Madden, the 2K tournaments, the big final, the championship series and all that stuff. But more of a casual fan on my end. But I can't say that at one point in time I wasn't a huge gamer because I just kind of throughout the years I kind of just faded away from
realized you're bad at it.
Locked in more.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing, man. Had I stayed in Madden, dude, I probably wouldn't even need to be here, bro. I probably
I get it. Would have won that $1 million tournament they do every year. Yeah,
I'd have been something,
Yeah,
at least $1. And
I played in that tournament. I played in that tournament once. I didn't make it very far, but I played in it. Jason in the chat,
But-
by the way, says he's from Wisconsin, so sorry about that.
Oh, man.
Wisconsin's made one good person. So
And that's enough. But no, on my end, basically I'm riding the wave with the AAC on that end. Is
Yeah.
whatever the community says on that end, that's where I'm gonna do everything I do, just
Yeah.
make it all work, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm here for it, you know what I mean? I'm not against the idea. I
Yeah.
just don't really have much weight to put onto any like
Yeah.
opinion one way or another. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Personally.
that is like the coolest thing about this community and the scariest thing about this company, right? And like from a founder's standpoint, right? Like we, Spacely and I for months now have been working. It feels like 40 to 50 hours a week on this company. Ronan and Sloth are just now, they're getting into it too, and we're about to start making them do a bunch of shit that I don't want to do too. And spending a lot of time on it as soon as the honeymoon phase is over for Dylan, both ways. But like, so we've spent all this time, like blood, sweat, and tears on this, and like all four of us. And then we're like, the whole purpose of the company is to be like, okay, what does everyone else want to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a little bit, that's a little bit of the date. That's a little bit of what's scary about it. Right. And so, it'll be up to them. Right. We took a lot of suggestions from folks when we were looking to start a company, and look for our first team. A lot of those folks that were in the Discord day one, were throwing out like ideas, but like we've heard some unconventional ideas for sports, and some of them I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. So I'm like, I hope that doesn't win.
Hey, ice tennis should be a thing. I'll keep pitching it until it's a thing.
Look, we got to start the whole damn league is the problem. You know,
once we get a cricket team, we're set.
That's right. Major League Cricket debuts this summer. They just did their first draft.
That's what we need.
Yeah, I'll scout it for sure.
Game changer.
Some other ones we saw from Peanut, who's a big FCF fan, big fan of the AAC too. We respect it. We love him.
Love Peanut.
His two favorite sports, right? And I'm saying sports, which may enrage some viewers. First, number one, NASCAR, right? Peanut's like, let's get a NASCAR team. Number two, pro wrestling, which I'm on board with, but is divisive.
We can meet in the middle and go with Formula One. Like it's still racing at least.
Well, unless it's this weekend, then it's just a glorified parade. Like, come on.
That's fair.
Can we do NASCAR wrestling?
NASCAR wrestling. I love it. So you drive 50 laps, get out, fight each other, do a battle royal.
Yep.
Last one standing gets a 10-second head start in the race. Do another 50 laps.
The new
My mind went somewhere else. I went straight Autobots.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not even where I went.
Where'd you go? Okay, now I dive
wrestling on top of cars.
Oh yeah, no.
Strap them to the car.
I mean, that's the obvious one. Yeah, no. While they're moving.
Have a fan
it's like a tag team, right?
You're
fighting each other in the ring that's put on top of two cars with your partner driving the cars as you're going around. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, so NASCAR wrestling's on the way. That was a week anyway.
Yeah, we got NASCAR wrestling coming.
Confirmed.
Damn it. So talk a little bit about the Instigators, right? So neither of you are huge basketball fans. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert actually doesn't even know what basketball is. I had to show him videos.
Pass me the rock.
Yeah. That's right. Is that a Lonely Island reference?
That is.
So how do be honest, what's your excitement level around the Instigators?
I mean,
you can be honest. It's all right.
I'm excited at the prospect of being a part of it and seeing it grow.
Yeah.
The basketball part of it, I could not care for. It's just not a sport that I've ever been gotten into.
Yeah.
It's part of why I'm excited to do this because it's a team. It's a team that I'm working for. So that gives me more of a I can't think of the wording for it, but like I have something to root for in that sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm from Chicago and I have the Bulls, sure, but I don't care enough about basketball to root for the Bulls.
Yeah.
This I have
Right.
more input into.
Yeah.
So I think it'll get me more into it than I've ever been into basketball before. But no, basketball was never a sport for me.
Yeah. Ronan, are you still excited about having a basketball team?
Oh, absolutely. It's the Hoosier State. We have to be excited about our basketball teams.
That's the truth. Yeah, it was a
That's
lot
right.
of. We
Yeah.
talked about that a little bit last time, but just the like it was such a perfect fit of like three of us being from Indiana, the ABA coming along, which is actually run out of Fishers where I live, right? Like the commissioner of the ABA lives down the street from me. And like it being all kind of the perfect opportunity. But yeah, basketball is legendary, and it's a crime that there's no team, or I should say, was no professional basketball team in Southern Indiana until we came along, and now there is. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. You know, our next phase really, we are like this close to announcing in our gym where we're going to be playing. Really close. In fact, the three of us are going to go visit it soon. I hope get a date on the calendar to go see it one evening. Although who knows with Dylan's damn schedule, it might just be two of us, Rob.
All right.
And like
after next week, I'm good, man.
Yeah. And the next phase is really like looking for players, right? And so like Spacely's leading that up. He's already started it. He's in the thick of it. But like what like this is a good question for those tuning in. Put it on in the comments. But what brand of basketball do you think we should play, Spacely? Ideally, what do we look like? What are you looking for when you're looking at players? Spacely's like, I didn't know I was going to talk on this one, but I want to know, like, what are we looking for?
I'm trying to dance around this answer. I've got the answer, but I'm trying to dance around the answer as well because who knows who's watching, right?
Yeah.
But I believe in our league, if we could be competitive off the jump, what we need is we need one premier player right off the jump.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need a premier player that can kind of move around positionally. Yeah. And then from that point, we just honestly we need maybe 1 to 2 guys, 2 big bodies in the paint who can just dish the ball out and score. And that gives us 3 solid players right there off the jump. Now, if we find any pieces on the guard end that can fill in, we're golden, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent around the league, but there's a lot of I've been watching film and there's a lot of like I said, I'm trying to find the best way to say this, but there's a lot of amateur gameplay in the sense of there's a lot of like full court presses. There's a lot of full court pass just right off the inbound, just a lot of crazy untraditional basketball, right? You know what I'm saying? But in that sense, there's certain teams that are good defensively and there's certain teams that aren't, just point blank, and I believe that if we can find enough players to kind of stretch the court a little bit, we're going to be able to get that range off of those teams that are pressing and just can't play press, just point blank, and I've seen one game go up to a team had like 200 points, but there was like a bunch of injuries in the mix. But for us,
then the other team only have like 5 guys.
But if we can get to 200 points in a game without a single injury, I'll be happy. That's just something I could put up in the.
I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be happy to put up 200 points in a game? You know what I mean?
I was talking about me personally.
Oh, right. No, I get it. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I just don't know if they'll let you take 700 shots in a game to get there.
I'll talk to the owners. Talk to the owners, dude.
Yeah, man, that's right.
Take it up with the owners, buddy. That ain't my fault.
We got one play in the playbook, ISO Spacely. Like that's all we got. Like,
yeah, that's it.
For me, I'm huge into. I went to the ABA Midwest Championship, the Final Four. Watched the championship game between the Lions and the Phoenix. The Lions will be in our region, so it's a little bit of scouting, right? And like that, you talked about it here, but the full court press to me is a really interesting idea. If you have you're allowed 12 players on the roster plus one celebrity roster spot at home, right? So if you know any celebrities that live in Indiana that want to ball out 10 times a year, tell them to give me a call. We'll put them on the roster. But anyway, so, with the 3D rule, we should do an episode at some point just completely around ABA rules because there's some really cool rules.
Yeah.
But one of the rules is the 3D rule. And the 3D rule says that if you get a turnover in your opponent's backcourt, so under near your basket, the basket you make on that possession is worth one extra point, right? So your 2s become 3s, your 3s become 4s. And so the idea, so I think that's where some of that comes from, right? If you do a full court press
sense.
and you can do a double team, or you can do, some sort of trap, and then you get the ball and then you shoot a 3, you've scored 4 points, right? I don't know about you, but I think 4 points is better than 3. Pretty sure 3 points are better than 2. But you give up.
Yeah, but if you're giving up 10, what's the 4 points if you're giving up 20?
Yeah,
30,
that's the risk, right?
Is
Is if you're doing a full court press and your team's tired, or they do those long passes and you can't stop them, they're scoring quickly. That's the other side of it. So it does. The league allows for some unconventional playbooks, which is why I think the scores range so much, right? We had a game that a team scored over 200. We've had several games where teams score under 100, right? I think most games
under 70. Yeah.
I think most games end around an NBA type score, right? A little over 100 for both teams, or right around 100 for both teams. But you do have these outliers, right? Because it's not these professional leagues that aren't the top tier leagues. There's no draft. There's no way to do parity. It's whichever team attracts the most talent, however they do it, will be the best team, right? Which gives us an opportunity. Because if we can market our players through our shows, if we can build big sponsorships, right? I've seen some teams do things player specific, where you can sponsor a player, which gives that player extra money a game, doing things like that. If we build up our community, even if it's not everybody in Southern Indiana, but it's our online community, and that gets really big, it has a direct impact on whether or not we win the games, which I think is really cool. But I want to get Mike D'Antoni. I want to run these offenses that's just sprint up and down the court, shoot the ball with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and run back. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. I want to see dunks and 3s. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I want whatever the hell we got to do every game to win that damn game. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Win the game. It don't matter how.
I hear you on that. I want to win with fun.
Go out there, score more than they score, and don't let them score more than you score.
Let me write this down.
We should be.
Let them. The principles of basketball, right?
Yeah. Wait, let me write this down. Let them score. What'd you say? Let them score.
Yeah, let them score. So we can't score.
Okay.
So they score more, and we win. Wait, something like that. We'll figure out the sport.
That's wrong.
That's golf. Oh shoot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, home run.
Jason put in there. He likes that you can't foul out in the ABA. That's a really cool rule too. And the reason that rule exists, frankly, is because teams aren't always able to sign the maximum roster spots, right? So teams have 5 or 6 or 7 players, particularly on away games. They struggle with that. We will not struggle with that. I guarantee it. But so you can't foul out. But what does happen, and what becomes interesting, is every foul you do over 6, they get an extra free throw, right? So if you foul a guy 10 times, then they get 4 more free throws on top of the 2. So that's interesting too. I think that's cool. Keeps the best players in the game, but doesn't allow it to become a hack fest, which is nice. I like that rule too. Spacey, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Everything. And I don't have no actual main topic, man. Outside of, I was just gonna bounce off of you. In all honesty, maybe let's talk about swoops a little bit. How about that?
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that. Swoops. You and Jason have really been running the swoop stuff. I have not been a huge part of it. I've been watching. First of all, I got to say this. Congratulations to our community on making the right choice in naming our player Frosty McSpacely III. The perfect name
that's-
for that player. That's all I gotta say. The rest of you, what do you got? Talk about swoops.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things it's really intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like something that I personally would play because it sounds like a lot of micromanaging, and
Yeah.
I hit a point where it's just not my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of it, the premise of it, it's fascinating, and I'm just excited to see how it goes. And with how early in a start that we're getting into it, I'm excited to see how it grows and where it ends up in 5-10 years, if it makes it that long, which I would be surprised if it didn't make it that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think that's my takeaway from it too. Just really being involved. I personally went and grabbed my own swoopster just so I could kind of, outside of our team, I could understand the management and understand what Jason's doing and how quick it takes to get a game so we can figure out all that to provide to our community and all that. And dude, the swoops community, like I said last week, man, they are so thrilled about the idea of the Apex Instigators, the Hoosier State Instigators being the real life franchise, and the Apex Instigators being the affiliate underneath their league. And on top of that, the community just in general, they're so supportive of everything to do, whether it's with swoops or just basketball related in general. And that's awesome, dude. So I wanted to give them another shout out, man, just because, it's been a week now, I guess, so far.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how time just flies like that, man, now. But yeah, it's been a week since I've been a part of that community personally.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, man, it's nothing but love. So, just shout out to those guys, dude. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, I second that. I also want to say people have been talking a lot of shit, so we haven't been winning a lot of games. But that is part of the strategy. We're in the preseason. Right? We're trying to figure out who the best players are. We're playing everybody. We're trying to figure out lineups.
I seen Waylub talking about Frosty McSpacely's 3-point percentage, and all I gotta say is get you a player named after you. First of all, win the vote. First of all.
Yeah. He tried.
He was up for so next time win first.
Yeah.
And then holler at us. And then second of all, maybe like I said, get you a player and then see how his 3 points hit before you come talking about our player and his three, because I took it a bit personal. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, I took it half personal. The Frosty part. Yeah.
The Frosty side of me really could care less, but
Same. Yeah, same on the McSpacely for me. But I will say, right after he started talking all that shit to us, what did McSpacely do? Game winning 3.
35.
Yeah, game winning 3.
That
so
too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Talk your shit.
We're still hot.
What I really like is as these two communities grow, right? So we have our basketball team, we have our swoops team. Is it the intersectionality we can have with these two teams? What if in the future we start naming players on swoops after players on the instigators, right? And all of a sudden now our players are in the game, they're rooting for that kind of the possibilities of that kind of stuff would be really cool.
You hate them in swoops, love them in ABA, or
that's
vice
right.
versa.
That's right.
Man,
dude, you're killing us in swoops, but you put up 68 this week, so we're gonna let it pass. Yeah.
They got something to compete against now, like a personal, like a little shadow.
That's right.
Sets the ABA record for points, gets benched same day.
Same day. Life of an instigator, bro.
Yep.
So when does the regular season for Swoop start? Do you know?
In about a week, sometime in the next few days, and
so we got some time.
Well, just a few days from now, but I don't think they've actually came out with a concrete date yet. They've just said about a week ago, and that was a few days ago. So, somewhere in that time frame, I would say.
Right.
But we will know ahead of. I was actually allowed access into the SOA, which is the Swoops Owners Association chat.
Yeah.
And so now I have a little bit more of a direct line outside of our guy Jay.
Yeah.
Jay Wright. But we also have him as well. So if I don't catch anything it will get sent up the ladder somehow or another, and we'll figure that part out. But
Cool.
regular season is coming sometime in the next few days, and we got to get our our team together because
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, man, it can't just be FMS, bro.
I get
Everybody
it.
else, you know,
My back's already
we'll
hurt.
put up.
I'm not gonna lie.
We'll put up 80 if we got to, but we don't.
I guess
We shouldn't
yeah.
have to. That's
That's
what I'm
right.
saying.
That's right. You know what? I was just we were talking about this. If the season's starting soon, I know Jason's in the chat. What if we get Jason on here next
Mhm.
week? Talking about swoops. What do you think? Jason, what do you think? You're in the chat. Let us know. Love to have you. Let's swoop it up. Sorry, just reminded me of a meme I saw today. I'm gonna share this. It has nothing to do with this. I'm gonna share this shit anyway because it's funny. So this you guys may have seen this on Facebook. There's a police department in some little town that puts on like a basketball tournament for like youth in inner city at night to give them something to do to stay off the streets. They started back up recently. The weather's been nice, so they said they said, hey, nighttime. Sorry, I'm laughing already because it's too funny. Nighttime poop starts back up this week. Nighttime poop starts back up this week. Join us on the court. And then a few minutes later, in all caps, they comment on their own post. They said, "Oh God, we meant hoops, not poops. Please do not poop on the court." So let's not poop on the court.
Gotta clarify.
Yeah.
Let's
not poop on the
clarify.
court. Sorry, that's what swooped reminded me of. I don't know why.
Oh man.
Spacely got to ask this. We're gonna do a little bit of we got to see if you fit the rest of the group. Spacely, we're all real big board gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's your favorite board game? Go.
Come on now.
If you say
Dude,
some Monopoly,
I've been on here every week with the same money every time.
bro, that's not a fucking board game. First of all, I mean it is, but I hate it. Bring up the money.
Okay,
How much does it
Okay.
cost to get a sponsorship or to get a subscription? I can't remember.
On what?
On Patreon.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Because right now I'm kind of like, you took me back a little bit when you said that wasn't a board game. Anyway.
It's a board game. I just hate it. It's a family board game.
Okay. So it's $5 Monopoly dollars. I don't have my wallet on me right now.
Wait, what?
It's $5 Monopoly dollars or real dollars if you have those. We prefer that.
We actually only take real money, just to clarify that. Yeah.
I'll take the Monopoly money, but you might not get your actual perks.
You transfer Monopoly money from game to game? Is that a thing?
Yes.
There's an exchange rate for Monopoly money for everything. Yeah.
It's a rolling balance.
Anyway.
Oh man. Monopoly.
Okay. Yeah, so it's $5, not Monopoly money, unless you're coming to me directly. And then it's $10 for the next trick.
Yeah.
So and then it goes up higher and higher and higher, and more perks and less Monopoly money for me because I can't accept it now. So
can you trade property instead?
Today.
Oh, that's a good question.
If you don't have the Monopoly money, can you trade the property value worth?
Yeah, like what tier is like Park Place Boulevard? Like
we only accept all 4 railroads, though. We don't accept any
Monopoly tournament coming soon too. We just keep rolling.
I'm going to clarify. First edition railroads, nothing else.
Yeah, for real. The rest of them crash in Ohio. No, oh, God.
Too soon.
Too soon.
You never know. You know, someone's got to throw it out there as a litmus test.
Never mind. I'm not going to go down that route.
All right. So Monopoly, I've lost a lot of respect for you. Well, when you said Monopoly, I lost respect for you. But I gained it when you couldn't pull out the Monopoly money that you've made a signature of this show because you don't have your wallet on you. Who carries Monopoly money in their wallet? You know what I'm saying?
It's like carrying a get out of jail free card and you get pulled over.
I mean, I carry a piece of a board game in my wallet. So I
What
get
board
it.
game?
Betrayal at House on the Hill Legacy. There's a card with a really creepy text that I decided to keep in my wallet in case, if I were to
Rusty
die.
loves that game.
It's not bad. The Legacy. It used to be one of my favorites when I first got into gaming, but
All right, I would try the Legacy version. I don't like the regular version. I think it's stupid. How much money?
Legacy's fun.
How much Monopoly money? This guy got? He got the whole board game. He's just full. Oh my god, this guy,
The richest of us all.
Yep.
$5. I gotta keep this streak alive.
Oh man, that is
$5 or $10 for the next person.
that's to
So,
vote.
viewers,
Oh,
we accept legal tender here.
Yeah, only legal tender. Yeah.
they do. We as in them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow, we're not coming back from that. Jason just hit us up in the chat. Apparently, he's going to a wedding in Kansas next week. But in 2 weeks he's available, maybe. So we'll look to have him on in a couple weeks on the show. That'd be great. Anytime.
That'd be cool.
We'll take it offline. We'll talk about it then. So we have a few minutes left before we go into kind of the big news and talk about that. Final topics. Ronan, Dylan, you're on the show for the first time. What have you been dying to talk about with AAC and Instigators? What have you been telling your significant other or your pets or your best friend that doesn't care that you want to share with people that do care?
I mean, I've been just talking about the idea of a sort of fan-owned team that's actually fan-owned. I understand that there is a certain football team that is fan-owned, and God, do they love the fact that they could say that, even though they have no decision-making power whatsoever or say in what happens.
Yeah.
Not to throw out names.
Sure.
But I'm talking about that idea, and then of course the future. Because like I said, basketball is not necessarily my thing. I am really excited for this as a whole. I'm excited to see where we go with it. So that's kind of what I've just been talking that up, and I have a few friends that are like, hey, if you guys ever get into this sport, he's like, let me know because I'll be there. And I'm like, all right, sweet, yeah, I'll hit you up.
Yeah. Ronan, what about you, brother?
So I've been ringing this up in the community as well. I've been talking to a few of my contacts who they do some how can I say it coaching for basketball and such, and coaching, they get paid for it. But and it's at the high school level, so like high school collegiate level. So seeing if we can pull in additional resources to help us spot good talent in the area, help us spot talent across Indiana. Again, this is the Hoosier State. We should have those resources at our disposal. Bring in the folks that are excited. Bring those into our fan base and expand this exciting venture here.
Yeah, I think that's great. We're gonna put out I try to put out kind of a roadmap of the next few months at the first of every month or 2 months, depending. Want to do one on June 1st because we're into that stuff. We've talked about the arena a little bit. We've talked about players, but Ronan hits on a really key part for us. We need a head coach that's ready to coach in Southern Indiana, right? And so if you know folks that would be interested that have coaching experience, looking at the high school, looking at college, looking at professional level, right? Like those types of levels, like send them our way because that's like the next key. Whoever that person is going to have a lot of power in our organization because they're basically going to be the head of basketball operations, right? They're going to be the ones that are going to be running our tryouts in the summer. They're the ones that are going to be deciding what players, helping Spacely and I, right, predominantly on what players we're going to sign and which ones we aren't. So that position is key to us. We haven't talked about it a whole lot yet. Been trying to wrap up this arena stuff, but it is absolutely a huge need coming right away, right? Spacely, you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to double down on that fact of it. It just, once we do have our coaching staff in line, it opens a lot of doors for us as far as additional player talent that we might not have a contact base with initially, and that helps us long-term tryout wise. It helps us long-term in general. We've got some kids that just committed into college, their freshman year right now and already hitting us up wanting to know tryout dates for when they graduate and, things like that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, just
Yeah.
as a personal takeaway, really,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I just love being a part of just the day-to-day organization, man, and
Yeah.
making everything happen. It's awesome.
It's so
I don't know.
cool. It is. And we have again, we're gonna announce the arena soon, as soon as we get like the ink dried on everything. But I'm gonna keep dropping clues about it because folks have been like a couple of folks have been trying to guess. At some point, we should start a thing where people start guessing and see how hard it is to
Yeah.
find an arena as we put out clues. For instance, we're not playing in the Pacers arena, right? We're not playing in a college arena, right? Because they play during
Not
those
Madison
times.
Square Garden either.
It's
We
not.
tried, but
We tried. Honestly, it just wasn't nice enough.
they wouldn't move it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they wouldn't move it to
that's right.
Indiana either.
That's true. Yeah, it was a whole weird thing.
Yeah.
Relocating an arena stuff. But like where it is fairly close to 2 or 3 colleges, right? And so like you gotta believe like those communities probably have guys that played basketball in those colleges still living there that are probably in their mid-20s, late 20s, that are folks that we can pull from. But in order to do that, like you said, we need a connection in the community of Indiana basketball specifically that can start like
And
knowing how to get those
I
folks
think
to a practice.
I think it's also it not outside of our roster alone, it also opens a lot for community outreach as well for the same sort of connection wise, networking wise, if they have just another venue or any other kind of connection that we can use or make it more known about the events that we're throwing. That's one thing I'm waiting for us to be able to get into, as well as some of the event ideas that we want to kind of incorporate into the inaugural season. Maybe make it into an annual type of deal. Obviously, we'll go about that by next year, but
Mm-hmm.
right now it's just getting the next few checks off the list, and
Yeah,
we'll be able to go further into all of that.
that's
So.
right. So yeah, if you know folks, send them our way. We're looking for a head coach. We don't talk about it a lot yet. We're going to talk about it a lot more coming up soon. But we're already starting to try to pull out names and see who we can get. Speaking of like community connections and all that, I want to move to the big news of the day. We have 2 things we want to talk about. I'm going to hit the graphic and then we'll talk about them. So here we go. And the graphic didn't work, but this is the news of the week anyway. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It worked when I tried it out. Now it doesn't work. I'll fix it later. I promise y'all, I've dudded this thing twice now. Last week and this week. And I gotta say, like, Spacely put together a really good graphic, and we're gonna use it successfully next week, probably. So first thing I want to talk about is a new feature we just added to Patreon 2 hours ago. Spacely, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so we have finally got some sort of breakthrough with Patreon that they're allowing us to do some of the things we wanted to do. And what that means is Patreon has finally allowed us to do trial subscriptions for our members. So we're going to start out the testing of the trials on our lowest tier. That way it doesn't confuse any of our subscribers with the voting rights. Into thinking that you could basically get the perk for free if you just join a trial. So you would be able to watch our games for what is it? It's a week, right?
7 days.
The
Yep.
trial link. Yeah, so 7 days you'll be able to, and throughout those 7 days of your trial period, you'll be able to use all of our basic perks, which is the general game to game updates. You'll be able to watch the game live instead of having to wait for it to come on the on demand stream. And overall, it just opens up the opportunity for a lot of our younger fan base, I should say, to have a chance to get to know what Patreon is and what the whole subscription base is and kind of how all that works and works
Yeah.
together, you know. So that's one really cool thing about Patreon. Next is we just keep hassling them to allow us to gift a sub here and there, and that, you know, we're golden.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep pressuring them.
I hear
I keep
that.
spamming my emails, but
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if they're actually getting through.
yeah, the way it works for folks too is if you sign up now as a $5 subscriber, you'll get like 37 days or whatever instead of 30 days, basically, right? The first 7 days are free, and then it's after that, which
Okay.
pushes you out. And what's cool about that, and you can cancel it before that, right? But don't, or we will hate you. Or no, probably not hate you. That was overly aggressive.
It
But
depends.
yeah, it depends on the
It
person.
depends.
Um,
Yeah.
but it is
I mean,
cool because
it
it does
depends on
give
the
folks,
team.
like, at some point this show is going to go to our $5 subscribers, rather than just free, right? As we start like bringing people on that are going to be on the roster, or coaching or whatever else, right? So it'll give folks like that. They can watch like the opening game if they want, maybe preseason games when that comes around, maybe tryouts when we start streaming those. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of see what the content is before you buy, which is dope. We didn't do it at the $10 subscription level. We could have, but you can't free trial a vote. That was one of the things Spacey and I talked about today. Since the $10 gives you an actual vote in the organization, we couldn't do it for that, but we will do it for the $5. So that is live now. So if folks want to try out the tryout, give it a shot. Last thing I want to talk about, we talked a little bit about outreach to the community. I'm going to go to the business side of AAC for a little while. So, because again, folks are thinking about whether or not they're going to be owners. They're thinking about making decisions as fan voters. So we talked about a little bit about the budget last week. This week, I'm going to talk about the budget again, but I want to talk about sources of revenue for the instigators and what will make us successful, which may or may not be fun for some folks. But Jason, there isn't a referral program, but hopefully it's coming soon. We talked about, like a basketball team generally in the ABA, there are like 3 sources of income, right? We have a few more because we have the Patreon, right, and like eventually the Roku channel, where we can get income from there. But the other 3, right, are tickets, which we'll have more details about as we get closer to games, merchandise, which we'll have more information on real soon. Some folks, and I think we got to do that tonight too, don't we, Spacely? Are we giving prizes away tonight? Yeah.
We might be giving prizes away.
Okay.
It depends how good my jumper is,
Okay.
in all honesty.
Yeah, we'll come right back to that. I forgot. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So merchandise, which is coming real soon. And the third one is sponsorships, right? So every single team, professional team, amateur team, sells sponsorships, right? It's been a topic of discussion for professional teams for a while now, right? Because you see some places in Europe that have gone like the NASCAR route, right, where they have logos all over their jerseys and stuff, and now that's coming I think the USA. My prediction for the instigators is how well we do on sponsorships this year will determine whether or not we have a successful year monetarily, economically, right?
Yep.
So we're about to launch that as soon as we get the arena deal, right? Those all go together, because you really can't do sponsorships until people know where you're playing, because you're targeting a lot of local companies. But we've already been working behind the scenes. So I wanted to see if I could preview tonight, see if it's okay with you guys. Preview a video we've made for sponsorships for the instigators. What do you guys think? Is that okay? All right, let me see. So the next question is, can I do it? Right? Let's hit the share screen here.
It's pretty much like the whole business model we got going on here.
That's right.
Can we do it?
All right, let's see. I don't think they can see it on there, so I'm trying to fix it. Hang on. Let's add. Oh, I think I can switch this here. You guys can see it, but they can't, so I'm fixing it so they can see it. Uh, 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 uh. Let's see here. Does this work? It does not work. We're getting it there. Hold on, everyone. This is gonna be it's gonna like blow your mind or something, maybe. There it is. All right, so they can see it now. So everyone, shut up. I'm gonna hit the button. Oh, it stopped.
Are you ready to be a part of the basketball revolution? Get ready to ignite the game with the Hoosier State Instigators. The Hoosier State Instigators are a professional basketball team that's on the rise. With their fierce determination, exceptional talent, and a dedicated fan base, they are ready
to hit the button at the wrong
to
time.
take the basketball world by storm. And now, you have the exclusive opportunity to join this winning team as a sponsor. By doing so, you'll gain incredible exposure and create lasting connections with our loyal fan base. Our fans are the heart and soul of the Hoosier State Instigators. They come from all walks of life, united by their love for basketball and their unwavering support for our team. Through our dynamic social media presence, electrifying game nights, and engaging community events, we provide sponsors with unparalleled opportunities to connect with their target audience. As a sponsor, you'll have the chance to participate in exclusive events alongside our players, making meaningful connections and leaving a lasting impression on our community. Our customizable sponsorship packages offer a range of opportunities tailored to meet your brand's unique objectives. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity to join the Hoosier State Instigators as a valued sponsor. Reach out to us today to discuss how we can elevate your brand through the power of professional basketball. Be a part of the Hoosier State Instigators' journey to greatness. Together, let's light up the court and inspire a new generation of basketball fans. Thanks for watching.
Anyway, here, let me transition us back real quick. Oh god, it's gonna start again.
Are you ready to be a part of the basketball revolution?
No one's ready for it anymore. No one's ready for the basketball.
Go with the endless loop of that.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so it's not done yet. We're still throwing some stuff in on there, but as we're back on screen now, we're still throwing some details in, right? I didn't put the sponsorship levels or contact information in there yet, but that's the video. You know what's really fun about that video? Like, I didn't make it. AI made it in like 10 minutes, and we just like changed it.
It's terrifying.
I just had a weird deja vu moment. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Sorry.
So anyway, sponsorship video coming soon. The fun thing about owning a basketball team is that, like, you know, you own a basketball team. The less fun thing is you got to make corporate looking sponsorship videos. But our video produced by AI, I would say, is better than most of the videos I've seen out there from ABA teams that are just like PowerPoints with words on them. And they get sponsorships, so hopefully we will too. But like, I think it's a good looking video. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Just because you had that little shots fired moment, I'm riding with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. He's like, I hated it until you just talk some shit.
I love it now. It's fucking golden.
So anyway, that's our big news. That's coming soon. Want to give a preview, folks. You know, watching the show, part of it is we want to take you along on the journey. And like, I spent 10 minutes today. Getting an AI to do a voiceover for a video. That's not my voice. It sounds a lot like it.
Very
But
close. I was actually going to ask you about that.
no, it's pretty close. Fooled a lot of people.
He's just humble. He don't want to take the credit.
That's right. That's right. I am gonna pay myself a stipend out of it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, let's end with the giveaway. We got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Spacely, you're in
Yeah,
charge.
so-
What are we giving
all right.
away? How you doing it?
All right, so I got a pretty big giveaway this time. I've been saving this one to do something big, man. So, we have a $30 store credit from our shipping provider for our merchandise, and I wanted to do something pretty cool. So I got this little trash ball. I don't what is
Trash
this called?
ball. Did you just come up with that, or did you make that up? Like earlier,
Well,
you were
they're called the
practicing.
waste paper. They're called the waste paper. Waste Paper Basketball Association, which just no offense, but it just don't come off the same. So trash
Right.
ball is what it is.
It might-
Got that
And
at Five Below.
I got it. I don't even know where I got it. I have this popped
Trash
up
ball.
magically
Word of the
after
night.
we got the instigators. No joke. Like I don't know where the hell it came from. It's in my house though. So what we have is, first of all, to get the chat involved, we got 6 balls there, right? So we could call one a ball. We got 6 paper things here. There's 5 right here that are worth 1 point, and we got a money ball. You can tell it's a money ball because it's not Monopoly money. And so it's got a dollar sign on it. That's worth 2 points. What we want to do is basically, I want to ask the chat, do we start the round of shooting off with the money ball, or do we end it with the money ball?
Okay.
The reason behind the question is because we have to score 5 points in order for our Patreon members to be able to win this giveaway.
Okay.
So that means that we can either score all 5 of the 1-pointers, or we have the money ball to fall on, or
Yeah.
start the round off with, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to you. You got to trust whether I'm in rhythm off the bat, which it's me. I'm a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
That's
This
what I
just
do.
said they unanimously voted to do it with the last shot after you just said that.
Last shot.
Yep.
There
that's
we go.
Unanimous vote, man. It's you didn't give them any
I
confidence.
feel like
at all.
Jason's the only one. Jason voted, didn't he?
It does. Look, I'm not going to release the vote count. Just know that it's unanimous. Okay.
Okay. All right. So first 5 balls, not the money ball. Somewhere money ball. All right. I got to make it into that bucket. If I don't, I blame Frosty. Damn it.
Shit.
Okay. So shut up. Don't talk to me. Let me get in my vibe. That was a warm-up shot. Can we edit this? This
Yeah,
is
we'll-
live?
We'll edit and post. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. The money ball. We're 2 shots.
Gonna be the decision. Hey, he
Let's
hit
go.
it.
There's
That's-
5.
That is
So-
that is a moment in Instigator's history. That is a moment.
Hey,
I don't
That's a
know.
clutch right there.
and on
clutch
top
right
of that
there.
shot, on top of that shot, I want to announce our very first player signing. It'll be me. It's not official, but like
Oh,
thanks.
yeah, nor will it be.
Nor will it be.
So is this like
Unless-
Space Jam where we just fill in the roster with whatever we got?
Yeah,
Yo,
dude.
I got access to the drive. I'm signed. So
that's
Put me
true.
in,
Like,
coach,
we,
I'm ready.
I mean, you are in charge of player contracts, so I guess can't really
Will.
do anything about that.
Well, you gotta sign off on them though.
That's true. My signature's gotta go on them. Oh man.
we made a step in the right direction to signing our first player. And And we are doing a $30 giveaway for our Patreon
Oh wow!
subscribers. Man. So if you are not a patron,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
Go
just
ahead.
saw a tweet that we've also just released our first player.
It felt good while it lasted.
It didn't even dry on that one.
Felt good while it
You
lasted.
cannot take that shot away from me.
No, that's true.
Moneyball. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on our Patreon forever.
Clutch, dude. I'm so good. Oh, man.
So what's the process to get the $30? Yeah.
So you have to be a verified Patreon subscriber, which means that you have to go and connect your Discord once you are subscribed to our Patreon. That way, well, we can verify that you're a Patreon subscriber in Discord.
Yeah.
That's where the giveaway will be held. So then what we will do is basically we're gonna host a once you are verified, our entire server opens up. You get your own Patreon channel, and that's where we'll be hosting our giveaway. So I would say maybe within the next 20-30 minutes after this episode ends, we will go ahead and post up the giveaway. That'll probably last, I'd say let's run it a week. Let's just run it until the next
announce it at the beginning of the next show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that'll give us enough time to hopefully get some new Patreon supporters in there, and get a chance to win $30 off of that's a free shirt, just point blank, free shirt and then some. So I'm gonna figure out a way to rig that for myself personally, because
that's good. Next time mute when you say that so they don't know. It hurts us.
I wasn't muted.
We're learning stuff today.
We'll edit it in post.
Yeah.
We'll take it out. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We didn't hit that. You didn't see that. This didn't happen.
It was actually a miss.
Okay.
Next week it's Spacely versus AI. We'll see who's the better shot.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
All right. So
I ain't gonna lie, I slipped on the first two shots and I'm upset about that, but we came through clutch at the end of the day, and that's overall what got me signed as a player. So
yeah, absolutely. So sign up, Patreon, any tier, even the $5 tier opens you up for the giveaway for the $5. So make sure you subscribe. We'll be giving it away at the beginning of the next show.
Technically, the trial gets you in. So, I mean, just sign up,
Just sign up, so we can boost those Patreon. It also helps us get more views on Patreon. It works just like Twitter and YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
So get in, join the Patreon, win a T-shirt plus some with this $30. The entire store will open up already. Bang Bang has already won as well. Bang Bang Rogers, he won $5 last week. So later we'll be giving away another $10 that we have. We'll figure that out. But we want merch in your hands. It's coming soon. This is, I think, a really fun way to like build up the anticipation. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Precipitation.
But that's our show for the week. We are 6 minutes over, but it's been a great time. Sloth, Ronan, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad that folks finally get to hear from you all more. I know you're going to be super active in the years to come, so it's super awesome to have you. But until next time, be an instigator. See you guys.
See you guys. Hoo-wee.
All right.